Not live. And on the fabulous Sunset Strip, catty corner to the Sunset Girl, the world famous Sunset Girl made famous by Don Henley. It's the Bob Dean Show. Yeah. I want to welcome my good friend and fellow comic, Jaclyn Marfuggi. Yay! Dennis Alsin is here, along with Sammy and Joe, and of course, Cathy St George is friggin' late again.
Rude,
but she's a doll. We love her, so we're going to let it go. We're going to start off today. Let's see. No dates for me coming up. Everything's good. I am happy, proud to say that we are at 8,400 subscribers. But not nearly as many as Jaclyn has. Congratulations to you. We're going to get... seriously, I think it's wonderful. And we're going to get into all that in a little bit here. On the 26th, Friday, Jaclyn and I, along with some other great comics, are going to be performing at the Veterans Administration campus in what is called the Slamdown. And it is a festival of a giant street fair. And we're going to get into a little bit more detail about that. And we're going to call Sunda Croonquist, who many of you know, owns the LA School of Comedy at 10835 Santa Monica Boulevard in beautiful Persian, Westwood. And it's the best comedy class in town, best comedy school in town. But Sunda is coordinating the comics for the show. So I'm going to dial her up right now.
Yes. Sunda's from Jersey too, right?
I know. Yeah, she's from Paterson.
Oh wow, she's more Jersey than I am.
She's
like I'm from Princeton.
Oh, there's a qualifying.
She's hardcore.
Oh, she's goals. Like I grew up just wanting to be a Real Housewife of New Jersey. And I feel like she's better than that. She's just a Real Housewife of Beverly Hills without having to deal with all the drama.
That's her riot about her act too, is that she talks about being a Swedish Persian. Oh wait, I can't hear her. Can you hear?
Push it down all the way.
There it is. Too ringy dingy. Hello.
I'm so excited.
Are you there?
I'm here, darling.
Yes. Well, welcome to the Bob Dean Show. Yay. This is Sue.
Thank
Bob
you.
Dean is just my lover.
Well, you wish I was your lover.
I know it.
Listen, I plug the LA School of Comedy at 10835 Santa Monica Boulevard every show,
Well, I'm so glad, and they're just keep knocking this door down, Bob.
Well, because it's and before I forget, I want to say thank you to Zach Herndon too in Bloomington, Indiana. Hey, Zach, yay!
Hey, Zach.
But
Hey, Zach.
I have Jaclyn Marfuggi here today. She is a Jersey comic too.
What up, Sunda?
Hey, how you doing? My cooks, you got an Italian over there? Where'd you find her?
I know, right? Italiano.
Well, I think you guys know each other. I know she's been to see the shows before.
Yes, I have. I used to work at the Laugh Factory when you would host the show. Well, you still host shows there.
It?
Yeah, I met you probably 10 years ago, and now I actually do stand up. So it's a thing.
Was I pregnant then? I was always pregnant the last time.
I was always trying to get pregnant at the Laugh Factory, so we have a lot in common.
Turned to a joke.
Yeah.
I talked to Mike Marino this morning, and Jaclyn knows Mike Marino as well.
Yes.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I said I want to do a Jersey comic show.
Yeah, Mike Marino's definitely a talent to be dealt with. He's fantastic. He came on our show the other night.
I know. It was funny today on the phone. He goes, I didn't even know. He said, Sunda just said, get up there. And he was a riot, and he's a real nice fella.
He's a really nice fella. And I have to tell you, the other Italian guy who's selling out Madison Square Garden is Sebastian.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know him?
Well,
I
can't tell you. I mean, selling out. Now that he married a Jewish girl, he knows the pain of starving, waiting for food to be over. And his
Wait, I'm losing you. Are you there?
I'm here. I never get lost. You could try.
But you were saying about I lost you at Jewish.
I was saying Sebastian is married to a Jewish woman.
Right.
So you can imagine, I mean, to hear an Italian talk about the experiences of going somewhere starving and having to read a book first is hysterical.
Yes.
You know, and We have a lot of Italian vets that are going on. Tell them what's going on with our Slamdown. You were there last year.
That's
Bob.
exactly. That's what we're just getting ready to start talking about. Jaclyn's going to be performing with us this year. You're coordinating the comedy guest, and the Slamdown is and I'm going to read because Rima, Simon, and Michael Johnson are the coordinators of this event, and they, unfortunately, through bureaucratic red tape, are not allowed to appear on the Bob Dean Show. Yeah. Well, you know what's in it? It's
For your show.
The VA wanted to send a representative over, and this was the same thing last year. They wouldn't let the two people that do all the hard work come on the show. So Rima has sent me some information about the Slamdown and that. So, I mean, just some stuff to read, because we know that it's like I was just telling Jaclyn, it's like a giant street fair, but and we get up underneath a comedic tent, which I hope will face the courtyard this year. But it was a huge success last year.
Can anyone come, or is it
success?
just for the
It was
vets?
really see so many people and it was so much diversity right there in the audience as well as on the stage.
Exactly. That was what's so neat. There were comics of all ages and backgrounds, and the public is welcome.
Okay.
Yes, and what it is, though, is that this is something I didn't realize, and I'm going to read directly from Rima's email. The stand down is a term that was adopted from military service, where soldiers would gather around following a combat episode to bury the dead, heal the sick, stand down to recover, take a breath, and recharge, and find strength in one another and proceed. I'm happy to be part. We're happy to be part of something like that, because damn, there's a lot of homeless vets, and there don't need to be.
We're going to get around and start throwing comics in the grave. I'm kidding. I'm sorry.
Now, I want to give kudos to Michael Johnson. Mr. Johnson is a gentleman. You remember Michael?
Oh, he's fantastic.
He's fantastic. And well, actually, they come to our shows too. They were at the last one on October the 1st. And Mr. Johnson, hi Michael, has been the architect of the VA stand down for the past 8 years throughout Southern California.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah. And he weaves together hundreds of details and the time that it takes to get this event together. And Miss Rima Simon, who is just cool as a cucumber, she is a licensed clinical social worker, which is an LCSW. I did not know that. Did you know that?
I learned something new.
And she has been working with homeless veterans in transitional housing for the past 8 years. And before that, she worked as a producer in film and television.
Oh, she knows
and the healing power. She believes in the healing power of comedy, in line with the Bob Hope thought to the troops back in the day, and this can help it out. And we're just proud to be part of it. So that is Friday, October the 26th. Sunda.
I am so excited. I was just drinking something cold that hit my tooth and took the out of me, okay? Because I'm having dental work.
Yeah, me too. I had a cavity and then the root canal.
It's the worst. I have to go in for that.
Sucks. And you know what here hurts even more is the damn bill.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you something. Lee Sharilla would tell you that's the trauma center. But
That's when you get the bill.
Sharilla has her teeth. There's nothing like the feeling of ice on an open friggin' root. You know what I mean? And just down in front of people, and they're like, "Are you okay?" And then, Bob, I just want to commend you on doing such a great job to help out so many of these comedians who are just starting out, and then giving the veteran comics a chance to be relaxed and be on your show and repose and refrain from being tense and just having a great time with you. And it's such a wonderful thing that you do.
Thanks a lot, Cindy. Well, as I said, you are the one that I was going to say, I call you my muse, but you're the one that rode my ass to do this. You did. And we started off at your studio, the LA School of Comedy at 10835 Santa Monica Boulevard. Cathy St George is here now, ladies and gentlemen. Come on in, Cathy.
Thank you for kicking Bob in the butt, Sunda.
Cathy just joined us, and we're talking with Sunda Croonquist, who you've seen perform many times. Now, shh.
Oh.
Okay, we'll get to you in a minute. Thanks for showing up.
Hot.
Hi there.
Okay, so anyway, yeah, but you're the one that got me into this in the first place. Thank you very much for kicking my butt. And because we're going to listen in a little bit here. We're going to talk about Jaclyn's podcast, and she's doing very, very well with it. But thanks to you. Yeah, I'm doing this, and that's what's cool that I like about the show is that we just have a good time.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Bob, it's hysterical. Every time, you never know what Bob Dean's going to say, because whatever he does and when we meet in our privacy here, he never does on stage. And then, unfortunately, people watch them and say, that's so easy, I'm going to do it, and they bomb.
Well, I bombed. I was talking to Mike Marino this morning. He's going to be around this weekend. He's doing the Ha Ha Club. And I was like, that's the last place that I bombed big time.
Oh, it wasn't bombing at all. You'll know when you bomb when people say, get off the stage.
Well, yeah, I pretty much
Get the
bombed
hook.
then. Yeah, get the hook. Well, honey, we're going to let you go now. We're just going to get into talking about some things here, but I wanted to let everybody know that you are a big part of this stand down at the VA.
Yeah.
And
if any of you can, in any way, shape, or form, support our veterans. If you find a funny vet, let us know, and we will see you all at the Laugh Factory. You can always follow me here at laschoolofcomedy.com, sundalive.com, and remember, Bob Dean is the only surly bartender guaranteed to make you laugh. And thank you for having me as a guest.
Or cry.
Love you, Sunda, very, very much. I'll see
Or
you this
blackout.
week, okay?
There you go. Round of applause.
Love you. Bye.
Sunda.
Yay.
Woo!
I remember her. I
She's
like
the
her.
Yes.
friggin' best, man. I don't even know if I'm still talking to her or not. Yeah, I guess I am. Sunda is the friggin' best. She is my comedy muse.
I know.
Oh,
She
yeah.
doesn't like to be called, what do you call it?
I have her cookbook.
Oh, yeah. Kosher Soul,
She has
y'all.
a cookbook?
She has
Yeah.
a cookbook, Kosher
Kosher
Soul.
Soul.
It's
What?
great.
It's
And
good.
you can see, and she's been on so many talk shows, and she's hilarious when she's talking about the latkes. She's like, there's only so many things you can do with latkes. So, but yes, it's Kosher Soul. It's a great cookbook.
She was talking about Sebastian Maniscalco. Are you familiar with him?
Somewhat.
Yeah. Well, I didn't want to say it because she's probably good friends with him. We dated right before his now wife. I was his good luck Chuck, is what I'm saying. Basically. Yeah.
Is that the,
That was it.
Is that the one that's so big now?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Did
'cause
you
a
date him
friend
here in
of mine
LA?
did a pilot
Yeah.
with him, but I guess it didn't.
Was it the one with Tony Danza?
Yeah, Tony did it. Yeah, so-
Yeah.
Oh, was that him in the show that didn't make it? The
Yeah.
one that was just out, right?
Yeah, it didn't go.
was- I can't
No, that's a
believe it.
different one.
No, he's
Yeah,
that
this
one-
was a comedy one. I think it was about Sebastian's family,
Yeah,
and it just
was.
never made it to
And
air.
it looked like it was going to be so cute.
Yes, I don't know why. Both of them are so lovely, and he's killing it right now. It's great, but yeah.
Well,
Good. I'm going to date her.
now
Yeah,
I want
you
to
should,
officially
yeah.
introduce you guys. This is
There's a
Cathy
few of
St.
those.
George, Jaclyn
Hi.
Marfuggi.
Hi.
We
Oh
would've
God, you're
introduced you-
pretty.
So
She
are
was
you.
a Miss August of 1983.
What?
He always says that, but it was 82.
82, yeah.
But that's okay, so I'm going to make it 92.
92. There you go.
My best
go.
friend Keith Garson, who lives in Nashville, and he's a very handsome man. He's got a
get
beautiful
some
wife,
for
a
him.
beautiful family.
Yeah.
But when I first mentioned her name, because he's been a calling guest before.
Yeah.
But he goes, oh, the beautiful Cathy St. George, and I'm like, you know her, and he goes, well, remember, because I've forgotten. I have every
They know
issue
me
of
better
Playboy
than
for
most.
years and years and years, and I've mentioned your name to so many of my buddies, and they're like, oh. The beautiful Cathy St. George.
Look at you.
I've hung in a lot of lockers in high school.
But she's also a riot, too. That's the best part about it.
I just found a Playboy with me on the cover from 1991, but it's my cover from 81. But I found it's a Hungarian issue, so I bought them, and I made the guy go to Austria to mail it because it was cheaper. That's how terrible.
Wow.
So
I
it
like
took that many years. It took that many years to get
Yeah,
to
power.
Yeah, but I'm
Hungary.
on, Madonna's in it, and it's a whole different magazine.
I want to see this.
So it's kind of, I'll bring it.
Yeah, that'd be
I
cool.
almost
Perfect.
bought it today.
Ah.
Damn.
In your rush to get here.
Well, no, I
Wait,
really
you said
did.
you couldn't
know
find
I've
your
been
car?
early. Ask her. Ask Sammy.
What
Well,
happened?
no. Well, considering you get paid nothing, I can't really bitch at you.
Really?
So all I could
That's
do is
okay.
say thank you because you're a huge part of the show.
Just
But
when you don't yell at me, is payment enough?
Oh, yell back.
But she's gonna got me.
Yeah.
these two. Joe's the one that
Love it.
he's got the TikTok eye.
I know.
He's
I'm
got
so-
the eyebrow
no,
that
I've been
goes,
really good.
we really need to get started.
Not by my
I don't
car.
know.
He's like, let's go.
But so what did you lost your car?
I couldn't remember where I parked it, and I normally don't park it on the second. I have to park in a public parking garage because I live downtown, sort of.
What building are you in?
Tell us your address.
I can't say what. Because anyway,
Oh, she lives in a real nice place.
I live in a really an old 1929 building down in Koreatown, but I never park in the second floor of the parking garage because they get you'll find them with no tires and stuff. So I never parked there, but I guess I did the other night. I don't know.
You're an angel
Probably came
for
home with him
driving.
drunk or something.
You're an angel for driving from downtown to come here.
Well,
Yeah, absolutely.
Actually.
She
Yeah,
is. She
yeah. Look at
absolutely
that.
is.
Wait, is
But
your?
normally it's better. Today was not so great.
It was not so good.
And coming from
I
Santa
live in
Monica, it was a
Koreatown,
breeze
and
today
I have to
for a
say, I
change.
passed a lot of Asians, and no, I'm kidding.
Whoa.
It's not true, actually.
That's not that nice.
Koreans,
That nice to say.
Hey, I was married to one, so I loved him. Yeah, I was like, hey, I'm the last person to talk.
Well, I said this at work the other day to my Asian friend. I go, does everybody in China and in Japan, you think, stand around going, baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, ha ha ha?
No, they sit there and invent fabulous
Did
things
anybody
that
get
are this
that?
big.
Did anybody get my joke?
Yeah,
No,
I did.
we
Basically,
got
they love
it.
You know how?
baseball.
When,
Yeah.
listen, this is not a racist joke or whatever. I'm just saying that. Remember when we were little, people go like this. You know?
yes.
Okay. And I
Bob's
said,
playing with his eyes
yeah,
right now.
it's
He's
just
slanting them.
But did you ever wonder if they make fun of us? By
Oh, I know,
making
right?
their eyes
Yes,
round and
there
going
you go.
baseball, hot dogs, apple pie.
Actually, that was one of the only countries that gave me a cover. It was Japan. They gave me a close-up headshot on the cover, and a lot of.
I need
So
to
I
see
love
all
them.
of these.
I love them.
Well, my
And
brother
it's all
Greg,
backwards.
Greg is
The
an
book.
international businessman, and the company the company that he works for is opening up stores all throughout Asia.
Oh,
and
yeah.
The beauty is overwhelming, and what was it? Remember when he did the call in and he referred to? We were talking about Vietnam, and
dying
he
to
was
go
like
there.
he's like Vietnam is this beautiful country, and then Cambodia, which is attached underneath, is kind of like. Not the best. Look at Sammy over there. So cool.
It's beautiful though. It's
But
supposed to be
I said,
absolutely
oh, it's sort of
beautiful.
like you and me. You're the beautiful Vietnam, and I'm the ugly stepbrother, Cambodia.
No, Cambodia is supposed to be a beautiful country, and my hairdresser, God love him, worked every day, Monday through Sunday, every day, and then he retired at the age of 50 and moved back to Cambodia and has a mansion and got married and everything and doesn't have to work
for
anymore.
him.
That's how you do it.
Yeah, and
Perfect.
Same thing in
It's
Mexico
beautiful.
too.
I know, right?
I'm not going to be moving to Mexico pretty soon.
Well, when I went to Ensenada, no, I'm sorry, but now I understand why so many people from Mexico want to come to the United States.
What happened in Ensenada? I
It's
feel like there's a
just-
story there.
Well, we took my friend Hans. There was like 12 of us, and Hans foot the bill. We were all friends from Miami Beach, but from all over the country. We got together. We spent the first night on the Queen Mary, and then we did one of those 4-day carnival cruises.
Yeah.
And it was really fun, except every kid on that boat was so fat.
On the Carnival
I have to
cruises?
say that,
All the little kids were
I
just
have to say
fat.
that cruise lines have old people and people that love.
Well, it's
'cause you can eat
unlimited
as much
food,
as
right?
you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, but these kids were fat before they got on the ship. And it's that whole thing
yeah.
about
You know,
the
it's in
country
their
being...
lane.
It's called supersizing.
Yeah.
Right.
Supersize me.
But anyway, we got to Ensenada, and it was I don't know.
I
All
tried-
the little
I-
kids that walked around, they were like Stepford
Chiclets,
children
with chiclets.
with the beads and all that, and they were just walking
Oh,
around
yeah.
like this.
You can't make eye contact.
No,
That's
you
how it was
can't.
in Egypt.
I
There was
can't-
literally babies that were trying to like get money off of me. Wow.
You're
And our
kidding.
tour guide was like, you cannot look anyone in the eye because it gives them permission to beg from you. Babies.
I
Now,
don't
was
even
this-
know how to get a deal in Mexico. That's how bad I am. I can't even.
That's pre-kindergarten.
Yeah, it was just like I shouldn't be
too
done.
much.
Just give them more.
But Ensenada was just a drag, and we went to this, and then I want to
I
get
like
to you.
Ensenada.
yeah, it's all good.
Well, then I must have missed the good part.
Well, I only
because
go
we
for
went to the
tacos on
blowhole. Did you know what the blowhole is? It's in no jokes, everybody. It's a natural formation in the ocean that was so beautiful.
Oh, I need to go
And
there.
it was like it's like I don't remember what it was, but an underground thing that sprayed
It's
blah
a
blah blah.
geyser.
like a geyser.
A geyser, yeah, and
Geyser.
it was just
warm
gorgeous.
spring.
The rocky coastline and everything, and it was really sad because you could see that at some point, maybe in the '60s or '70s, they had built what would have been a modern tourism, welcoming station and all that, and it was all just boarded up and rotten and stuff. Oh, and my favorite part was how in the little van that you take from the ship
Yeah.
to the tourist attraction. The woman's like, now remember, this is exactly what she said. She goes, take advantage of the cheap liquor prices, and the public restrooms are very well kept. So you're encouraged to tip the attendant like a quarter or something, something to that effect.
Okay.
Well, the bathrooms didn't even have doors on them, and the guy was asleep. I was like, this is nasty. And then they confiscated.
I'd love to get paid to nap.
They confiscated all the booze going back on the ship. It was such a racket.
Oh yeah.
No.
And it looked like a
You don't
liquor
wanna
store
do it.
because I didn't buy any
And
booze.
resell it.
But they never, they're like take advantage of the cheap liquor prices. And so people are buying stuff, and then as customs is right there, and they literally had it stacked up like Cuervo, Tanqueray. I mean, it was all lined up. Yeah.
That makes me so angry.
Yeah,
that's why you buy a wine bra and you fill it up in there first.
A wine
and
bra.
you just look like you have man breasts.
Yes, I need to start doing that.
All right, Jaclyn, I want to hear about now.
So cool.
You toured overseas entertaining our troops last year.
Yes.
Will you please tell us all about it? How did you get involved in that? What countries did you visit, and what was your whole take on the thing? Because we're all
really
proud
cool.
of you for jumping in there. Thank you.
Thank y'all. It's a really cool experience. If any comedians can get on board with that, I definitely recommend it, because when I found out, it was really scary. It was 2 years ago, but it was 2 years ago, and we found out. I had a friend who had done it before me, but she went to like England and Germany, and I think they went to like Italy, and like they just went to a lot of cool places, and they were on tour buses. They didn't have to fly to every show, and it just sounded like
a bulletproof vest.
Yeah, we should have been in that. But it just sounded so like cool, like you were on like Almost Famous, like a tour bus. My tour, we found out we were going to Egypt, Jordan, Turkey, like Spain was good.
Hot places.
Yeah, just really like super chill.
You can't touch anybody and you wear a turtleneck.
Pretty much. And it was right when there was either like a plane that disappeared in Egypt. There was a shooting at the Turkey, like the airport we were going into. Like it was just like one thing after another right before I left, to the point where I was like, fuck it, I'm going. And if this is my time, this is my time. I don't care. And we were at a family wedding the night before I was leaving. I literally left the hotel and went straight to the airport. And my brother pulled me outside. My brother is a professional soccer player. Like, he's a guy's guy. And he pulled me outside crying. And he was like, don't go to Egypt. You're going to get killed. And I was like, I'm sorry, I'm going.
You're a very brave young woman.
And thank you. And it was cool. The guy who picked me up in my Lyft to take me to the airport, he said he was an empath and kind of a psychic. And he was this older gentleman that was Turkish.
I love that.
He was from Turkey.
Oh, no kidding.
And he dropped me off and he said, you're going to be fine. And then he handed me this orange that I kept with me for the entire trip. He was like, keep this with you. I know. I put it in my luggage. And he was like my good luck charm. He was like, you're totally going to be fine. And he was telling me stuff about my life that was pretty on point when I was in the car. It didn't freak me out, though. Like, I felt very at peace.
I think it would make me feel safer, yeah.
It really did. And I was lucky enough. I made a friend for life, Jill Kimmel, Jimmy's sister, was on the tour with me, and I was nervous to meet her at first because she's like a tough chick from Brooklyn, and I was like, she's either gonna love me or fucking hate me, like it's no in between here. And she just became like a mama bear to me. She's a little older and has kids and whatever, and is so cool. The first night we were there, we landed in Spain, and she was like, we need to go to karaoke, and all of a sudden she was rapping like it was Snoop Dogg, and I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. And it was one of those things where we had to fly everywhere. I think we did 13 flights over the course of the entire thing, some flights 2 in one day.
Wow.
And the best part is, you're away from this and you're just so focused and present, and you're meeting everyone, and everyone is just so grateful for you to be there. Like, there's posters of you everywhere, and they've been looking forward to this for weeks, which you don't realize, And
wow, I never even thought about it like that. Yeah,
like this is like their big night out for the month.
Did you have to watch your humor though? I mean, considering
that was the funny thing. Leading up to it, I worked with Jody Miller, who runs shows, and she's a great comedian and teacher. And I cleaned up everything. They were like, everything has to be clean, which is hard because when you do stand up, like certain punchlines hit on harder words.
Yeah.
I had a joke, which I still do, called Quiet Fucker.
I remember that.
Yeah.
The first time we did a show. Go ahead.
It's not like super dirty. It's more just all the things that go through your head when someone's just not talking during sex. Yeah. And like as a woman, like you just go through, it's like the laundry list.
I just turn on sound effects my own.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's what you have to do. Oh, you're like, Alexa.
I just keep
Yeah. Like, no, totally. I learned the hard way. And so, yeah, the whole joke is just a laundry list of like, I need to go spray tanning. Where's my checkbook? Like all the things. So it's not really dirty. But I changed it to like quiet lover, and that just doesn't hit as well, right?
No.
And we get over there, and I was so nervous about only doing clean material and like really not, not offending anyone or getting in trouble or getting sent home.
couldn't do it.
And literally, the first show we did, they were like, "Oh, they love the dirty stuff. Like, just give it to them. No one
good.
cares." So they were really cool about it.
Cool.
Well,
And
was it mostly men or women too?
it was both. There were certain
Okay.
bases, and we were in Cairo, Egypt, which was really cool, but also really scary. Have any of you been to Cairo?
No, but I know people from there, and they tell me a lot.
That
of stuff.
was the only place where we were picked up in like an armored car, and we had security with us the whole time, and we were very protected there. But the base there was awesome. Apparently, there was a lot of people from Philly, and they always had Yingling beer shipped in. So, like, on the base, there was, like, all this Yingling.
I know.
That's so
I have
funny.
family in the Poconos.
Yeah.
And, my family's originally from the Philadelphia area, but my sister's Poconos, and everybody drinks that Yingling.
They're obsessed. So, like, I felt like I was at home, but there was families there, like a lot of the wives from the bases, and there were some kids at certain shows, and you kind of go with it. But the coolest thing about it, which we'll probably experience at this, is it Slamdown?
Yeah.
Is that a lot of the troops afterwards would come up and be like, I really want to do stand up. Like, and we'd be like, start a mic on the bass,
Seriously.
like just
Mic
do
night.
it.
You find that you just
Exactly. Get
can't
off
you
a
can't
mic.
encourage people enough that ever mention it to you. And,
Yeah.
Because you're so young, and I started doing this
love
6
you.
years ago, 7 years ago, and I wish I had done it years and years and years ago because it's just fun.
Yeah.
You're not going to make any money
I
fast
was
to
giving
anybody.
classes for
but,
20 years ago, and
Well, you see,
Yeah.
because you reminded me that we worked together at La Scala. We can't mention any names. La Scala.
La Scala. That was the only job I've ever been fired from in my entire life.
Everybody I know has been fired. I quit. I quit.
Oh God, I'm so jealous.
I quit. I was sitting there in my boxers, and I put on my right sock, and I looked at my left foot, and I called Javier, and I go, I just can't do it another day.
It was one of those. I respect that so much about you. Mine was the worst. I had just moved to Hollywood. I was a total club kid, and the night before, it was I think Christina Aguilera's birthday. And Mario Lopez's birthday, and we went to Christina Aguilera's house that she was
can't say
renting
no.
from Joe Francis, the owner of Girls Gone Wild. And I literally,
go.
I mean,
I would have crashed that party.
I think I was like still drunk. I had to work the next morning. I was still drunk when they were like, "Where are you?" I was like, "I don't care," And I think our manager at the time like showed up every day smelling like vodka, which you have to drink a lot to smell like vodka.
Yeah.
because vodka.
Yeah.
Right?
Coming out of your pores.
Yeah. So I was like, whatever. I was about to
I
say
got
his name. I'm
fired
not
for
going
eating
to.
there.
Really?
No, I'm kidding.
Well, how I brought this whole thing up though is that we also worked. You were a bartender at
Yeah.
where I still am paying the bills at Wolfgang
Wolfgang.
Steakhouse. And my point being is, I didn't even know you were a comic because you're lovely, and I'm not trying to kiss your butt or nothing, but
thank you.
you're lovely, and you're so quiet behind the bar.
I am.
I mean, you were great with your customers and such.
Yeah.
But as far as like anything else, and then when you said, "Why do you stand up?" I was like, "No,
You're like,
kidding."
stop.
But then, well, no, I mean, but then that show that we did with Ray.
Oh yeah.
Over at
Speakeasy.
the Speakeasy Comedy Group. They are so much fun.
Yeah.
And they're engaged.
Uh-huh.
Yay.
love
But when you
Ray.
got up and did your set, I was like, God damn, where did
wanna
this
see her.
come from?
Well,
Yeah, it was great.
I think there's two types of comics. You are just funny all the time. Like you are just a personality. You are like you are what you are. It is what it is.
You're very kind to say that because a lot of people just think it's being annoying. But go ahead.
They're like, he's such a dick. I'm like, no, he's funny.
I'm like, if people go, you're
funny.
an asshole. I'm like, well, who didn't know that?
Yeah, you're like, yeah.
And
Am I a
Everyone-
funny asshole?
Yeah. But like you are that. And for me, I don't know. I don't know if it's more like I grew up doing theater and like acting and dancing, and I had a ton of issues about body and being all that shit. And I talk about that on stage. And I think I just observe, and also like I was so miserable being behind the bar that like I just kept it quiet, which I don't do now. Now I still have to bartend sometimes.
I was gonna say, now
and
you
I
sit
have
at the bar. So
I do. I have my business card on me. People ask for another shot, and I'm like, if you listen to my podcast, I will give you one.
Thank you very much. That's exactly how I do it too. I push myself.
Yeah.
I'm like, since you the second drink.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, since you asked,
exactly. No shame in my game. Like that is it.
We think alike,
So
girl.
I had to kind of flip it. I was pretty miserable when I was working.
Well,
with
the
you.
thing about it is, it's not a miserable place, but you had a miserable shift.
Well, I was there during the day when no one was there,
Yeah,
and
it's not a lunch. It's not a lunch
poor
bar.
Bob, I would like set everything up. I would be there all day with 0 customers, and Bob would come flying in, and like the bar would all of a sudden be packed, and I'd be like, "Hi,
if I'd known, I would have started drinking earlier.
thank you."
Well, see, that just it has
Yeah.
nothing to do with you. That's just the
It was
way.
just the shift, and that's why I quit.
Yeah,
But it's still a great place. I love it. I need to come in.
you should come in sometime, and you won't see it. All the same faces are still there, though.
Perfect. Yeah. So, and I was working there when I went overseas, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of a big turning point.
Now you're from Princeton.
I am. I'm from Princeton, New Jersey.
I mentioned my sister-in-law graduated from Princeton.
I know. That's great. I did not.
Well, I know. It's like people say you're from Nashville. Did you go to Vanderbilt? I'm like, that's funny.
Yeah, I went to University of Rhode Island.
Really?
Yes.
There's such a place?
Apparently.
This is Michael Connolly from Rhode Island?
I think, no, isn't he from Boston? He's
from Maine.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
He's from somewhere up there.
Yeah, he's somewhere up there.
There's somebody I know that's from Rhode Island. I'm trying to think of who it is.
It'll come to you.
Peter Griffin.
There you
Great
go.
boat shows there.
Yes. It's a hidden gem. It was a great school. Our like claim to fame, which shouldn't be a claim to fame, but right before I was there, Lamar Odom, who played for the Lakers, he was there. And I was a dancer on the dance team, the Ramettes. And so that was like their Laker girls. So right before I got there, they had built this huge new stadium because March Madness, they were really, really good when I got there. So that was pretty cool. That was our claim to fame-ish.
And siblings?
So I have a brother, yes.
Just the one brother?
Yeah.
And he plays soccer?
He's a younger brother, but he's much more mature than I am. He has a real person job. He's one of the head coaches at UCLA. He's awesome.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. He's great.
Tell us his name so we can
Soccer.
His name is Soccer?
Yeah.
Now, what is his name? We're going to give him a shout out.
Oh, his name's Phil Marfuggi.
Phil Marfuggi. Whoa.
I know. I'm trying to get him to do The Bachelor because he's just so awesome.
Do you think you could get him to come on the Bob Dean Show?
Possibly. I mean,
That'd be fun. You could come on with your brother.
I could try to do that.
Yeah.
He hasn't done mine yet, though. So we'll see.
Come on, Phil.
Phil.
Do it for your sister.
Yes. Yeah.
So he lives here in town, so you get to see him. Are your folks
barely. I mean, he might as well live in Jersey.
Right. Now, do you see your folks often?
Ish. They're coming out in a few weeks. They have their life is insane. They're heading out to France and Italy tomorrow.
Oh, how nice.
I know. My dad's the CEO of a cheese company, so
Oh, cool.
he's going over there. Yes. Shout out Locatelli Cheese. So they're going over there, and then they're coming here after. So.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
So the family will be together. That's going to be nice.
Do you do jokes about your family?
Not really.
No,
I don't.
they're lucky.
You do some. I know. Well, yeah, I do the story about coming out to my parents on Christmas Eve.
Okay.
And my mom was more upset that I told her I hated football.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I love that
Seriously,
joke.
it's true. I mean, I use a little creative. What do you call it? Creative license on it.
Oh, yeah.
But that's basically exactly what happened. She was like, "You're my son, and I love you." And then she's like, "Did you hear what he just said?" He's talking to my dad. He hates football. Your son. How? What am I going to tell the neighbors, Bob?
Oh, I love it.
My mother, Stella, God rest her soul, who was right here in this studio, according to our psychic friend.
What?
Jennifer Diamond was on a few. But 10 minutes left already. God dang it!
No.
We had a psychic on, Jennifer Diamond, and she's really a blasted. She was unfortunately in a bad car accident when she was young, and then she was in a coma for several months. Long story short, we were talking, and she asked me about my mom, and I said, and you can watch it, the reruns of the Bob Dean, or back issues of the Bob Dean Show. Yay. Where she said she was here with us. I said, "Is she here?" And she goes, "Yeah." I was like, I can't even tell you what my first thought was.
What?
Something shameful. I'm like, oh God, I'll never be able to do that again. Anyway.
Wait, I love it. Yeah.
But Stella, my mom, she's a beauty. Can you guys want to play a little bit of Just Jump? Do we have time for that?
Let's do it.
Is there anything else that I'm missing that we want to talk about? The Slamdown, everybody knows about that on the 26th.
Yeah, that's cool. I have shows coming
find
up.
out.
But
Tell us when, and tell us tell us about your show, your podcast. We want to hear that.
I just have shows coming up, and I post everything on my social media. So just look up at Jaclyn Marfuggi. That's JACLYN MARFUGGI. So yeah, I post all the show dates, whatnot, like at Laugh Factory, Comedy Store, all that, and I teach classes here. I have to go to teach after this.
You were telling me, what's it called? Polydynamics?
It's called
Polydynamics.
Ish. It's called sure. Plyo Jam. So I'm their
Never heard of that.
online fitness instructor, and I also teach in Brentwood and West Hollywood.
Well, what's
so
it all about?
It's kind of like Zumba, but cool. Like it's just 15 songs in a row, high cardio mixed with plyometrics, and you just follow along, and you're dancing to like everything from Britney Spears to Kendrick Lamar, Jay-Z,
So
Beyonce.
it's all about heart rate and that sort of. It's sort of like what aerobics was, but this is like
But I like
this
the
is a
dancing
great granddaughter of aerobics per se.
pretty much.
Yeah.
But you just get, it's like dance like a rock star, train like an athlete is pop star.
Cool.
So
whatever.
if I drop dead, probably I would.
Yeah.
Well, in my
I mean-
aerobics class in 1980, I was asked by the instructor to please wear tighter underpants. Because
Oh.
we did flatbacks.
You were just
I can't go for that.
You
No,
were letting
apparently, yeah.
letting it live.
And so, tell us about your podcast. How can we listen to your podcast?
And I have to have you on.
I would love that. Thank you for
yes.
asking.
I have a podcast called What's Your Jersey? And that basically is a play on words. I'm from New Jersey, so that's my Jersey. So I find out where my guests are from, how they got to where they are, and we talk a little sports, and we relate sports to, reality TV show storylines or like just anything that you could understand. And I've had some pretty cool people. I recently had Perez Hilton on. I had Drew Carter, who's an
awesome.
NFL athlete. I've had psychics, I've had actors, comedians, just all these cool people. So, yeah.
I've got a basketball player I could recommend for you that comes into the bar now. I'm not going to mention any names because, he may say no, but
No, I would love that.
yeah, he's really cool.
So, yeah, it's really fun. And
And how can we find it?
Devil.
How can how the Bob Dean audience find the Jaclyn Marfuggi?
it's What's Your Jersey?
What's
And
Your
you can
Jersey?
find it on iTunes and Audio Boom Network.
Definitely.
iTunes, just like the Bob
Thank
Dean
you.
Show.
Because I used to
And
do it all the
audio,
time.
and
Audio
audio
Boom.
boom.
Yeah.
And you can also find us on iHeartRadio. So audio boom, iHeartRadio,
I'm so
both on
happy.
iTunes.
That's awesome.
Yay! Let's play a little Just Jump. Now, we play Just Jump.
Uh-huh.
This is the 1957 Amy Vanderbilt Etiquette Guide, and Mr. Alsin reads questions, and the three of us try to come up with the right answer
Oh,
of
yes.
a 60-year-old etiquette.
Oh, God.
How much may a lady put on makeup in public?
Repeat the
0.
question.
How much may a lady put on makeup in public?
Lipstick.
Lipstick.
I say 0 too.
Yeah. You're not supposed to.
Making up in public is much more relaxed of recent years. However, anything too technical in the matter of making up, hair combing, mascara applying, painting on of lips,
Sorry, you can do it. You can do it. I could do it blindfolded.
And catch him with your
Oh,
boobs.
yeah.
or application of cake makeup are all taboo. A light dusting of powder and an unobtrusive reapplication of lipstick are acceptable
That's all I do.
and usual in a public place.
Oh, so that's why in all the old movies it's okay to take out. Do you guys still carry compact?
Yeah.
Do you?
I carry me.
Last week we went out for Dennis's birthday dinner after here, and we went to Wolfgang's, and I was making a little video. I don't know if you've seen it on my Facebook thing, but it was just a little 20-second thing, and right at the end she's
I have
put
my
her lip,
lipstick holding it in my mouth to
and it went
open
poof, right down in her
and it
cleavage.
smells-
It's hilarious.
Oh, my God. I have to watch that.
Yeah. Okay. Let's have another question, Dennis. I love this game.
This is fun.
Okay. I'm one of those people who never forget a face, but cannot master the art of remembering names. Is there a tactful way of handling a social problem like this?
To repeat the name when you hear it.
Well, if you forgot the name.
Yeah,
That's what they're
I
like.
forgot
Like,
my husband's
You
name.
remember a
once.
face, but you forgot the name. What do you do?
Well, like every time we go out in public, I'm like, if I don't introduce you immediately, that means
Yes,
you
I
don't say
always
hello.
say
because
that.
You
I
don't
say
want to be. You
introduce
don't want to be
yourself,
rude, but
introduce
especially
yourself.
since we meet so many damn people.
many people.
Because we're such celebrities.
I remember
Yeah.
birthmarks.
Oh.
Never.
This is mine. I'm not doing coke, y'all. It's a
You
birthmark.
can introduce them to someone else, but don't just be like, oh my God, have you met so-and-so? And then let
And
them
hope
do
that
it.
so-and-so
Yeah.
gets on that
Yes.
right away.
Still
Yes.
don't do it.
Right. Okay, so
And then you're just fucked.
that's your answer. My answer is go, I'm sorry, I forgot your name. which
I
is
like
so.
that.
No, your answer
That's
is
probably
always,
why
hey,
I'm divorced.
introduce yourself to the guy
Yeah.
and find out what his name is. All right.
And do you have a solid answer?
I think it's. I would say introduce yourself. That's what I would do. Or no, I don't. Excuse me. What was your name again? I don't know.
Yeah.
What does Miss Vanderbilt say?
I don't know.
Miss Vanderbilt says, if you are warmly greeted by someone whose name you can't recall, say something harmless, such as, nice to see you, and you're looking well.
Oh yeah,
And while looking attentive, let the other person do the talking until he or she gives you a clue to his identity. Your own expression should always indicate that you remember him well and favorably. No one is ever pleased if you say, I know your face, but I can't recall your name. If you have
sleep
trouble
with you?
remembering the names that match the faces, always help the other person who is probably suffering from the same thing. Never say, do you remember me? Instead, in greeting people, identify yourself quickly and gracefully. How do you do? I'm Joseph By. It is more tactful and modest to assume that you are not remembered than to presume that you are.
that's something I learned from my folks too.
But
Is
some
that's just
people
what you
don't
do.
that. I
And
mean,
then, but if I had a nickel for every time, it's, years ago, of course, when I'd be at a party and I'd introduce myself, and especially women would be like, "I've met you like 10 times," and they'd be disgusted
I
about.
hate
Well, it's
that.
because I was always so smashed at
that's
these
why I
parties.
always say,
Yeah.
did I sleep with you? Well, then
That's how you got.
sorry, I don't
That's how you got your Bill Cosby autograph book.
Oh,
We
yeah.
have
remember
time
him
for
either.
one more question. Yay! We have time for one
Yay.
more. Yay!
I'm allergic to cigarette smoke, and I get asthma.
Next. Fuck
next.
you all.
Next.
We should all be allowed to smoke inside. If you don't like it, you go outside.
Exactly.
I hope I didn't lose any listeners. Go back. Let's hear
Just the
the
one.
question. I'm sorry, Dennis.
You want to hear it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm allergic to cigarette smoke, and I get asthma. This is 57, so we'll see what they thought then.
Perfect.
I'm allergic to cigarette smoke, and I get asthma if I'm exposed to it. Even sharing an elevator with someone who is smoking starts me coughing. What bothers me most is that one of the girls at work smokes. She sits near me and must know that it bothers me, but she never volunteered to go out to the restroom for her hourly cigarette. I would like to be polite, but when one is allergic, this is about as ridiculous as saying that one wants to be polite to a maniac who has hands in a stranglehold on one's throat.
So,
That was long, Dennis.
yeah.
so what is she? And so, was that it?
Yeah.
But her question is, how do you
really
Sometimes
sound
they'll
like
say,
a question?
do you
though.
mind if I smoke?
It's more of a
Right.
statement than a question.
Yeah, I was gonna
I'll
say.
just read on. What she
Yes.
says is, your problem is difficult. One, hard to work out with the full cooperation of other people, especially those whom you don't know well enough to ask such a favor. Many allergics find ways to avoid things that bother them without too much social discomfort, or else they have medication they can take when they happen to run into foods or atmospheric conditions that are bothersome.
Yeah. Well, in other words,
Yeah,
it doesn't
that-
matter now because we can't smoke anywhere.
Right?
We can
No,
vape
on my
though.
roof you can.
You can. Oh,
Yeah.
All right.
I
Stop
smoke
bragging.
So
inside
they
my
already
home.
caught one on fire, one of the things.
Well, I still smoke inside, but I have to close the door and put duct tape around the
So he's got a
frame
lot.
so the guy across the hall doesn't have a conniption for it.
Oh,
It's
God.
bad.
I really don't go that
Towels under the doors.
I guess that's it for
much.
the Bob Dean Show, y'all.
Yay.
I want to
Yay.
thank the lovely Cathy St George, and I know I always drag you for being late, but you do, as Jaclyn pointed out, it's a trek to come. If you guys that listen in other
tried
places,
so
you don't know what
hard.
Los Angeles traffic is like. And so thanks for coming. I'm sorry I brag on you for being late.
No,
because
it's
we love
okay because I really don't like to be, and
That's all right.
I'm so happy you're here.
I mean, if I was getting late,
Yes.
and I was late, it'd be okay,
Yeah.
but it wasn't. It was traffic.
You know what my best excuse is? The neighbors are moving, and the van has me blocked.
Oh,
It's
I
a
need
good
to
one.
use that.
Yeah, you didn't hear that from me, y'all, though. Thank you, Jaclyn, for coming on the show.
Thank
I've been
you.
trying to get together with you for a long time. We need to get together and get to a show together and do that. Seriously, if we can find out how much it is to rent the room out here, maybe you and I can host our own
Let's
little.
do another charity show,
That'd be great.
right?
Love
Kathy
it.
St. George charity.
Oh my
That'd
God!
be so good.
Oh, look, it's all happening. Perfect. I would love that.
And thank you, Dennis, for being our guest and the Just Jump host. We need to get some theme music for that.
Yeah.
Just jump. Well, actually, my friend Julia used to say I pushed her. Whenever because she comes from a very old Southern family and Southern money. And Julia, who I want to
love
say,
Southern money.
and she's just a
Yes.
darling, and she's a darling, and she is just so politically. I called her the other day. I'd say this to them. We got to go. My friend Julia is so outrageous outrageous and just the epitome of. She was sort of like a Julia Sugarbaker character from Designing Women.
Yeah.
Okay, and we were at this. And this is back when in my yuppie scum phase from '87 to '90 when I had a real job and wore suits and all that sort of thing. And we all would meet at the Sailmaker on Fridays for happy hour. And she was. This is when shoulder pads and all that shit were in. And she had some kind of job where she was all made up and everything. And she lived right around the corner of Woodmont Boulevard. She said, "I'm going to go home and change real quick." And she came back and she was wearing a nightgown with shoulder pads and a big belt with a buckle. And she's smoking a cigarette, drinking a martini with this flannel nightgown. And I'm like, "Oh, you in a nightgown?" She's like, "I certainly am."
Goals. Yes. I'm going to do that on Friday.
Seriously. And just, you know what? Start your own fashion.
Right.
All right. Love you all. Thank you very much. Please listen to us on iTunes, iHeartRadio. Watch us on YouTube. Thanks to Joe White. And please encourage your friends.
Thanks to Sammy.
And of course, Sammy Jr. to you. Sammy Jr. everybody.
Sammy Jr.
And Joe White.
Ontario.
Sammy Jr. and Joe White too. Thanks, y'all. That's it for today. Yay.
Beep, 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 beep.